Welcome back to Bone Smoke and Sizzle. Today we will be making a pork and apple sausage, an English version, so it has the dried apples in there and apple juice and much more. So let's get started with that pork and apple sausage, and let me show you what ingredients I'm using to make this type of sausage. Like I said before, it's an English type version, it's a traditional version, so let's get started. From the meat side, we need 1 kilo of pork trimmings. Those things what I have here, 80-20, so 80% lean, 20% fat. They are trimmings from the leg, from the shoulder. So it's good meat. We also need 12 grams of table salt per kilo. We need 2 grams of ground white pepper per kilo. We need 0.5 grams of ground cinnamon per kilo. We need 1 gram of rubbed thyme per kilo. And we need 1 gram of sage per kilo. I'm using fresh sage, and you also could use rubbed sage, so it's 1 gram per kilo. We also need dried apples. What I have here is we need 42 grams of dried apples per kilo. However, those apples you need to coarsely chop first, and then you need to soak them in 75 grams of sweet apple juice. So what you do is you heat the apple juice, you bring it to boil and reduce it a little bit. Then you add the dried apple and take it off the heat and let it soak for at least a half hour to an hour. I have mine soaked, I've prepared this the day before. So those ones have now soaked since the last 24 hours. So they're nice and soft, have taken on all that flavor from the natural apple juice. I use a unrefined apple juice because it has more flavor in there, so that's the brown one you see in the shops, and it's a sweet version. We also need 70 grams of rusk. I'm using Zwieback because it's double baked, so it's like rusk. I will crush this one down and mix it into it. For the casing, I'm using 28 to 30 mil. And you would need about 1 to 1.2 meters casing per kilo. The next thing what we need to do is set up the grinder with the 6mm blade. So let me show you which blade I'm using. Alright, I have set up the grinder now with the 6mm blade. What I will do is now is I will grind the meat through the 6mm blade. So let's get that through. Okay, the meat has been ground now through the 6mm blade. Now let's start mixing it with all the herbs and spices. What we want to do is now is first we add the salt. Nutmeg. Pepper. and then the sage and the thyme. The other thing what we add is now is the soaked dried apples. A really nice smell of it. And the other thing is now the rusk, what I have here, also the zwieback. I just crush into it. That's it. And the next thing is we give it a quick mix, so we don't mix it too hard, so we just mix it up, so all is mixed up a little bit. That's it. We don't need to mix it more at that stage. Now we grind it again. Let's grind that meat again. As we have coarsely mixed it, the apple gets now also ground down to about 6 ml. The rusk gets mixed into it. So. Put everything in there. That's it. Now we need to give it a good mix, and let me show you so we get the right binding into it, because it's also very important when you make a sausage. The binding is really important. Let's get this one mixed. It's a very good smell out of it. That will take a few minutes, so I will come back to you once it's done. So that's getting there now. Should be becoming nice and sticky. So if I look there, that's what it looks like. So I can see it's a nice grainage into it. So it's very good. Smell is also very good. Let's get this sausage mix into that filler. And we need to make sure we push it down, as we don't want any air in there. So, let's start filling and fill. It's nearly empty. And make it wet. That's it. They are done. What we do is next, we tie them off. When you tie this one off, you want them around 10 centimeters. I make them a little bit longer, so I'm making about 12, 14 centimeters long. And you have a nice, really nice smell. And if you got a sausage which doesn't make a full one anymore, just twist it in half if you want to, or leave it a bit longer, it really doesn't matter. So that's the first few done. Let's do the next few. Got a knot in there already. Always squeezing with your fingers, with your thumb here, and then you can turn it. You see? Makes it easier so it doesn't break, and just be gentle when you do that. So there's a little smaller one there, which doesn't matter. Those are the sausages now. So let me show you what they look like. As you can see, they are nice and even. They have a very nice color. You can see the grain and everything on it. And of course also the basil and everything, the fresh one I put in there. You can see the apples in there and the rusk, of course. So it's very nice looking sausage, and of course very good tasting. This is how to make a traditional pork and apple sausage, an English type version. So you got the dried apples in there, you got the apple juice in there, you got the herbs in there, the spices, and it's just, you can smell also the flavors, so it's really good. Even when you fry it, it will caramelize a little bit. So this sausage needs to be fried slowly. The best thing is now is to keep it overnight in the fridge to let that flavors to develop and fry it the next day. I hope you enjoyed this video. The next time I will do a Macedonian sausage. So that's going the other side towards Serbia. It's a very nice sausage as well, it's a fresh one. And otherwise, I wish you all the best. Have fun, make sausages, and see you later. Bye bye.